Hello, good morning everyone. This is your reading for Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. 2252025. Okay. I love it when numbers line up. So, what do we need to know for today? Tarot first, astrology second. What is it that we need to know? What would be the most helpful to get us through this day? Support us. We need spiritual support. Right there. Whoops. Almost threw the whole deck up in the air. Okay, so Page of Swords. Good ideas in the morning. Maybe somebody talking, yammering in your ear a lot. Ooh, but opportunities. Opportunities are coming in. Oh my goodness. And then we have two aces. Whoa. Opportunities that you can really grab a hold of and get going. Now, when I just do three cards, the center card is the theme. And the Ace of Pentacles would, it actually rules any earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. But also, it's our card for manifesting. And here we are within 2 days of the solar eclipse, the new moon, not the solar eclipse, what am I saying? The new moon, just the new moon. It's, I think, 4:45 in the morning on the 27th. But anyway, we're in the portal, right? We've got the divine portal that is very open for putting our intentions out into the world and, starting the work, getting it going. Maybe you want to knock something out of the park this time, and you're really going to go for it. When we're dealing with the Pentacles, it's everything of the physical realm, but it's also things that tend to really come full circle because you've been using all of the other aces, like the go for it with the Ace of Wands, the good ideas with the Ace of Swords, and then the overflowing passion that comes with the Ace of Cups. So this is really beautiful. I really, really love these cards for the day. So, but anyway, back to the intentions. Now, when the way intentions work, or the way the universe works, is that our intentions are, the first form of manifesting. Well, actually, that's not true. It would be more our conceiving, of something new in our mind first. It would be the, just like all the aces are ruled by the Magician card. So it would be the Magician that tells us, hey, come on, you can manifest just about anything on earth that you can conceive of. In fact, it's already there for you in the spirit world first. You just have to, your job is to bring it down, give birth to it. So I think we have the Page of Swords coming in to remind us that we can knock it out of the park. We can, if we're curious about something new that we can energetically, go for. If we're willing to do the work, plant the seeds, go for it, keep nurturing it, pretend the Ace of Cups is here too. And that's how you do it. So you conceive it first. When you're trying to manifest, you conceive it in your mind, and then you have to do your meditation so that it's really inside of you. And you're coming from the place of, I already have it inside of me. I'm just waiting for the earth to catch up, the earthly realm. It's like, damn Saturn. Come on. I put a ring on it, now bring it here. So our intentions, energy will wrap around our intentions. Our intentions are conscious, that conscious claiming of, and you give yourself your own permission. You don't wait for the universe to tell you, yeah, you can have it. you get that information from connecting in with your higher self, which is what the High Priestess is all about. So get really curious about the spiritual laws around manifesting and work them and go for it, is what the cards are saying. Go for it. Okay, so with the astrology, here we have the chart for the day. I set it for 5 a.m. Pacific, so wherever you live, adjust to your time zone. But don't pay any attention to the houses because I have to always use the 0 degrees Aries chart. But this way you do get to see the natural zodiac. And, yeah, look at all these planets in Pisces. I've been talking about this a lot. But what I wanted to say, which sometimes it's better to have a beginner astrologer because they'll tell you all the details of, us older people that have been doing it for years, we tend to just look at it and tell you what it means, but then we don't go through the details. It's like we don't do the math with you. So the math, when it comes to conjunctions, so notice how Mercury and Saturn are pretty much exactly within minutes, conjunct within 4 minutes here. Mercury is only 7 degrees away from the North Node and 8 degrees away from Neptune. The Sun is getting there pretty close. It's, Ceres and the Sun are close enough to call that a tight conjunction. But the Sun to Saturn, not yet, but we'll get there later this month. But the thing to remember, so here's a blanket law when it comes to the planets joining together, which is what conjunctions are. They're just like join-ups, meet-ups for periods of time. And the faster-moving planets are always moving around, and they'll connect with the slower ones that are holding space for the slower-moving planets are sitting there holding space for us to catch up with the spiritual law of that planet. So we could say that all of these planets in Pisces right now, and also the North Node, is holding, or Neptune is holding space for all of these conjunctions. So Neptune in Pisces in the highest levels of light is compassion, intuition, imagination, sensitivities, and getting things into our consciousness that are divinely inspired. Neptune can help dissolve dualistic splits in our consciousness, like the if, either or, if then, instead of the and. Everything needs to be and, because it's not so black and white. And it brings in the nuances of the things that we need to, rise above. Neptune is about transcendence. So sometimes reality is a little too harsh, which Saturn and Pisces you can understand, and Mercury in conjunct there just exactly today. This has to do with thinking that expands to what we can do. And especially to have a stable foundation, Saturn. And also this has to do with the chaos in the government, too. So what can we do to have a stable foundation in the midst of governmental chaos, But what I started to say was back, when it comes to conjunctions, you have to think of conjunctions as increasing each planet's power. So Mercury has a lot more power with manifesting when it's conjunct Saturn. Okay, so this can be a really, really important new moon, happening this time. This new moon join up can just be perfect. So that's coming up. Now, what we also want to look at is the North Node that's in such a tight conjunction with Neptune. So the North Node, it has to do with our path in life. So if we're using this energy in the highest levels, or making the most of it that we can, We are allowing ourselves, we're meditating every day, and we're allowing ourselves to be inspired by our higher selves. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't sit with your higher self and have arguments about your lower self that holds you back, because that's how you work through things. It's a question and answer process, at least for me when I sit down and try and do those things, And it's a lot like talking to a little kid sometimes. You have these arguments as to why you can't do certain things. And then you have your surrenders too. Neptune is all about surrender. Think of the Hanged Man. That is our Neptunian card in the major arcana. So, and I just have major chills around that. So there is something about surrender with this. Okay, so just to remember that conjunctions increase each planet's power. So we can have more power on our spiritual path, because that's the North Node in Pisces, translated. If we open to more, so we go to the height of Pisces, which is, opening up to more and more and more of all the good stuff. More bliss, more compassion, more care for each other, more sensitivity, going slow. Now, Pisces also rules the feet, so you're going to want to be careful with your feet. I had my little foot a situation that lasted a week, and man, that sucked. So, but it really did show me probably all of the, because I think it happened because, when you get older, your tendons, they don't do as well when you overdo, if you do too much. And I had done a lot of lifting heavy stuff in the garage, and then the last little straw that broke my, it wasn't my Achilles tendon, but it was around that tendon that's around the back of your heel. It's always at the insertion points that tendons and muscles and ligaments are challenging, but where they connect. So it reminded me of I probably did a lot of, because I used to do a lot of dance. I taught aerobics for 15 years. My God, that probably wasn't the best thing to do on anybody's feet. So when you get older, you start paying for those things. So if you happen to be a younger person, you might want to be careful about overdoing certain things, because muscles get really strong. And when you're younger, you have a lot more, well, with women especially, we have estrogen, but later on when we're past menopause, you don't. And then things are more, I take tons of supplements, but you just don't have that same elasticity. And it's the tendons and the ligaments that hold the muscles together onto the bone. So those are going to be, they're always going to be the weaker link, in our bodies. So we want to be careful about things like that. Now, Mercury conjunct Saturn, to me, is like deeper lessons around something, because we're at that 20-degree point, anytime. So with the signs, 0 to 9 degrees, we're developing a new foundation. So in Pisces, a lot of people are going to be developing a new foundation around nurturing themselves and the things that they love and the life that they love to live in a bigger, broader, more sensitive way, a more sensible way too. And then because the sun is stronger because Ceres is right here. Ceres is stronger because the sun's been shining a light on it. So there's strength in this conjunction here. It's like I'm thinking of the term, the acronym TEAM, which stands for Together Each Achieves More. So conjunctions you could think of as, little teamwork, teams going on. So with the second decan, we don't have anything between 10 and 19 degrees, but that's the stage where we're learning. So we've gone past that, and now we're into the third decan with Mercury and Saturn, which is deepening and blossoming and blooming, and so things pay off. Okay, and this is perfect for planting those new seeds, for setting the intention with this new moon coming up, which is just, I absolutely love that it's coming up this way. Yeah. Now, some people can see Mercury conjunct Saturn as like limitations of the mind. Well, when we're in the realm of Pisces, there aren't really limitations with Pisces, unless the only way we can mess that up is to go into victimhood and not have any belief in our own ability to manifest, and not take responsibility for what we've created from the past. Because, if we created a problem, we're the ones that can fix it because we created it. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of acceptance. The acceptance of duality will help us to, deepen our experience here on life, in life. And that's what leads to happiness. That's what leads to inner unity. Duality is not inner unity. You get unity through acceptance. So, yeah, and then other than that, for today, we still have the trine going on, double trine from the South Node. So we've got the facts being gathered over here and bringing things together in a useful way. And the moon has crossed over, because remember it was in Capricorn, but it made it over, during the night, made it over Pluto, and is now 2 degrees away first thing this morning. So now the moon in Aquarius, it's a whole different flavor than Capricorn, because it's a lot more inventive. If you take your self-responsibility for being in your authority, and you don't mind working hard, and you go for having control over your life and letting go of controlling others, because you can't. Well, your kids you can, and sometimes you have to, but you still got to be careful there too. Anyway, by the time we get to from Capricorn to Aquarius, then things start to progress. There's a lot of reasoning that comes in with Capricorn too. It's just that from the one perspective of Capricorn, we're in that realm of what can I do? What is my responsibility? What are my duties? How do I need to be more disciplined? What do I want to get done? And also sometimes the pain of feeling disrespected or being overlooked, right? And so you go through that, especially when the moon. Sometimes, the moon will bring up those things, often, actually. But then by the time we get to Aquarius, it's more group-oriented, it's more social, usually. But it can also be bigoted, because, just look at the tech bros. It's the opposite sign of, with Cancer and Capricorn, you want the safety and security, and you're willing to work for it. When we get to the polarity of Leo and Aquarius, Leo can be open-hearted giving, but it can also be just wanting tons of attention and being narcissistic and bigoted and not caring about anyone else, because it's all about being on top of everyone else, and because I'm better than you and I know more and I can control da-da-da-da-da, and you've got people like Elon Musk. So, but on the positive side, we also have genius in the sign of Aquarius. We have genius, we have independence, we have equality, we have fairness, we have friends, we have group connections, we have teamwork, and we can, focus on scientific things, we can focus on technological advancements, We could learn new computer programs. We could take tutorials on anything new that we want to learn. We can join, we can join webinars. We can, we can learn. But go for it in a way that it opens your heart and it's something that you really want to give your attention to, and then you can bring those two polarities together as the moon continues, for the next couple days into Aquarius. You always want to look at the opposite polarity, and kind of helps to balance things out. So, for instance, like we create order out of chaos when what seems to be chaotic really is just that it's just energy that hasn't been formed together yet. That's all it is. But we know that that's the bigger picture of Pisces and the Virgo polarity, right? Yeah. So, okay, well, that's it for today. The rest of it is pretty much the same. I mean, we still have the trine from Mars to Mercury and Saturn that will continue on for a couple of days or more. And because it's an approaching trine now. So the energy to go for what you want and grow what you want, manifest what you want, is really strong with this connection. So, okay. Well, I'll be back for tomorrow. Thank you. Take good care as always.